Okay, so I bought this resin kit, got it open. Here's the little cap for it. So we're going to put it on this piece that I wood burned, so you can see all the texture. Alright, and then here's the light. I hope the cord will reach. Alright, so I'm hoping this is self-leveling. You don't have to mix it or anything like that. I'm also hoping that it doesn't like roll off the edge. I have a stick over here. This resin comes in much bigger bottles, so if I like the way it looks, I may have to get a bigger bottle and then just refill these little bottles. Let's see here. Can we get it all the way to the edge? Oh, I may have gone over. Hopefully not too much. Try not to get my head in the camera. Oops, there's a bubble. This little silicone mat came with it, and then this is a glass hot plate from Dollar Tree. I use this when I'm wood burning so that it's not just on my tabletop. Alright, so it seems to be pretty self-leveling. Once I kind of move it around, let's get that bubble. Obviously I don't want to touch it because I don't want it on my hands. I got a little bit on my hands when I was opening it because I couldn't get the seal off. No idea why I burned the little registration mark, but I did. This is not as stinky as I remember like epoxy resin being, but it's still not pleasant. Oh, come back over here. I want to make sure I get it all covered. Trying to get out any bubbles. Yeah, it seems pretty self-leveling. Just looking at the edge here. Alright, so now it says to do both sides when you're doing something that's thick. Well, obviously I can't do the other side, it's not going to do any good. So I'm going to use the highest setting, which is 150 seconds. Oops, maybe not put my hand under it. should have read it, but I think that that's a timer, so it should go off when 105 seconds has gone by. Just gonna sneak this under here just to dry that so I'm not smearing it around. Oh, sorry, accidentally. This part's super boring, but that should be less than 2 minutes. The light should not shine directly on the glasses. So maybe I shouldn't have put this glass piece under here. I don't know. Yeah, so that is a timer. So that may be too long since it's such a thin layer, but we'll see. The kit came with a bunch of stuff to make colored resin and stuff, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, the resin that's on the stick is already dry, so that's probably way too long. Alright, so I'm just going to turn it off. And I guess I'll touch the corner. I don't know, it still feels a little sticky to me. Let's take the glass away. The glass got a little warm, so maybe that's why it says not to put it on glass. There, we'll just do 60 seconds. I'm also going to do this piece. I've already put the Mod Podge on it, but I want to see what it looks like with the resin on it. I'm probably not going to do this up here because I don't want to get the resin in the little holes where I need to put the ribbons. Alright, so this is what the pieces look like with the dimensional magic on them. So super shiny, it makes a thick layer, but you can see that it doesn't self-level. And this doesn't smell. And I said I was going to use this instead of doing this, but I changed my mind. Plus, there's other stuff I can do with the resin. And this one has the outdoor Mod Podge on it. So, alright, yeah, that seems like it's cured. It doesn't feel sticky. It's not like coming off on my hand. I don't see any fingerprints. There are a few bubbles. So these two, this is what that one looks like. Let me turn the light. So you can see how shiny that is, as opposed to this one. So this one didn't change the color of the wood, which that could really just be the wood, because this is probably different wood than this. But do you see how yellow this looks? As opposed to this is still very clear. But they kind of give the same look, very glass-like. So I like this. I mean, it didn't stink. It didn't, I put it on that and it was not sticky. This takes like 48 hours to dry. This took a couple of minutes. Super shiny. Also super shiny. And then this one, pretty shiny, but lots of streaks. I think there might be an air bubble or two still in here, honestly, but for the most part, looks pretty good. So let's do this little kitty. We won't use the glass this time. I was worried when I pulled these out that once this was on here, like, what do I do? But it has a lid, and it's a screw lid. Like, I didn't want to waste it. So it has pretty good surface tension, like it doesn't go off the edge. I'll just kind of tap it along just to make sure it gets all the way to the edge. Okay. I'm barely squeezing it just so that I'm not here all day waiting for it to drip out. I'm not worried about the color on this one because I have already sealed it with the Mod Podge and the Mod Podge didn't pick up the color. So I don't know if this epoxy will pick up the color or not, or the resin. I'm hoping not. Isn't that awesome? I don't know if y'all can see how it's like leveling out on its own without me really having to do anything. Just gonna speed it along a little bit there. But that's very nice that it'll just self-level. Also, hopefully that'll allow me to use less. I mean, it doesn't feel, there's 100 grams in here. It doesn't really feel like I've used that much. It's a black bottle, obviously, to protect the resin, so I don't know how much I've used. Alright, so there we go. Just tap, tap, tap. There's some little bubbles over there. Tap, 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 tap. Alright, so let me put the lid back on this because these are the only two we're going to do today. I'll bring this back over. And we'll do the middle one for this one. It's pretty cool. I do like that it came with this silicone sheet. I have a bigger one on my work table, but because the camera's over here, I just used the little one that came with it so I could film but still protect my, because this is the desk, this little like carbon fiber looking thing, and then this is a rubber desk mat. You really can't visibly see any change, so I don't know how to tell if it's changed or not. Yeah, that's still a little sticky on there. But I do think this is going to be a better option just because it's so quick versus the Dimensional Magic. Now, I have a bottle and a half of Dimensional Magic, so yes, I will still be using it. I just probably will use the resin more just because it's so quick. Because a minute and a half is way better than 24 to 48 hours. So this is what the bottle looks like if you're curious. There's a ton of these kits on Amazon. They all look pretty much the same. They're just rebranded with whatever name. This kit was 20 bucks. Came with 2 of these bottles. I got the bigger light. It looked to me like the other light was probably only about this big. I got the bigger light because I have a little bit bigger project, so I want to stick under it. The one with the small light was like $10. But yeah, so there we go. This is, yep, that's all cured. That's cured. Let's see. Yep. It's a little warm still from the light, and you can kind of see some bubbles. I don't know if you can see them but they're tiny, tiny little bubbles. Like there's one right there. But there we go. So we have a little kitty cat, and then I'll paint the back or put some fabric on it and add some ribbons. Alright, well that was our first experiment with UV resin, and it seemed to be a success. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.